Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. This is Jason with Akers Pest Control. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Got on here 5 minutes before 10 tonight. It seems to just be getting later and later throughout the year. Kids are actually pretty sure they're still awake. But I'm like, look, I got to get on here. I got to stream. You guys got to behave yourselves. Go upstairs. Play, have fun, whatever. I'm going to go live stream. My 2-year-old decided to take a nap until 6 o'clock this afternoon, and it was getting later and later and later, and I'm like, look, he's not going to go to bed tonight at all if I don't, I got to go. I'm not going to be up all night long online, but here I am, here anyway, to talk to you guys about your bug problems. Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope everybody's ready for the weekend. I am. Tomorrow, last work day, and then I got the weekend off because I'm going to Northern Virginia, visit some friends and family. Wife's got a birthday coming up, so hopefully we can get on up there and enjoy some fun with some family and stuff. So hope everybody's doing all right. Let's see, that thing is really, boy, that is really bright. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. That's better. Not so blinding on my eyes. So I'm going to try, let me see, to get my TikTok going here, because I've been on TikTok too now. How do I get them out of my car? It's 107 degrees here. So bed bugs don't die until the temperature gets up to above 118 degrees. The adults need to be above 118, and the eggs need above 125 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure where you live. If you say 107, I'm assuming that you live in an area that uses standard measurements. But yes, it's that's one of the reasons that heat treatments are not as effective, because a lot of times the heat treatment is done with temperatures lower than 125 degrees. Typically it's about 118 to 120 because that's what kills adults, but that's not what kills eggs. So it's very difficult to get the entire room to 125 degrees without melting appliances. The problem is once it gets so hot, things start to melt and fall apart and break. So what do I use to spray bed bugs? Like, what sprayers do you recommend? Okay, so I'm going to answer that real quick. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this, because I wanted to go live tonight on TikTok too, because I've got enough people that watch me now on TikTok, so I can actually go live there too, and I can help more people. And TikTok's crazy though. I tell you, that's a crazy platform. I got some weird stuff over there. If you into comedy or anything like that, some of the stuff I do there is weird. But let's see, let me show you. Let's go to scene. All right, there's my yellow jacket, picture of a yellow jacket. Let's see, which one of these is it? So if you go to my Amazon page, I have not done my review. So I am working on a review for some sprayers, some cheaper sprayers, alternatives to a B&G. But this is what I put on my bed bug, because people have been asking so much for a sprayer on Amazon that they can go and they can purchase that isn't $300. So if you go to the bed bug supply and you go to this sprayer, this is a $50 sprayer, but I felt like if I were going to buy one, this is what I would buy. It's got a pretty good wand. It's a metal wand. It's got a decent nozzle. It's got a pressure release. See, it's got an actual angled nozzle, which makes it a little bit easier to treat some areas. It's brass, not plastic, so it's not gonna break or leak as bad as a plastic tip will. It does have some plastic attachments, so like for a fan spray, so the yellow tip there is a fan spray, and you can actually swap the red tip for the yellow tip in this little plastic holder to get a different size fan. And then this would be your pin stream. And honestly, I don't know what that's for. I wouldn't use that for pest control, but it does give you these three options right here. So that's why I included it. I went and looked at some because people have been asking over and over, and I feel bad because I haven't been able to do my video on sprayers yet. I just have not had the time. I have been so busy. I just have not had the time to be able to do it. So hopefully that will help you guys. So let's see if I can. That's not what I want. Original portrait. I have to move over some here. And then let's turn that monitor a little bit like that. There we go. And then I'm going to go live. So I got to make sure my hat looks all right. See, I go setting up stream and my hat ain't even on right. What's wrong with me? Add a title. What's my title going to be? The Bed Bug Show. And then we'll put a hyphen. And we'll go live. I really should have done this before I went live, but I wanted to start answering questions because I know you guys wait on me to get on here. So I don't like people to wait around for me. I don't like to wait around for people. And I don't like people to wait around for me. So, how do you feel about Apprehend? Apprehend is a really good pesticide for the control of bed bugs. I recommend it. I think it's the only reason I don't use Apprehend for the control of bed bugs is because, all right, so I've been using Crossfire for the control of bed bugs. That's what I've been using for the past about 4 years. I am looking into Apprehend, but right now I'm not having a problem with Crossfire. Crossfire is working really, really good for me, and so that's what I'm using. The issue is with why I don't talk about it a whole lot on stream is because I try to talk about pesticides that you can buy as, an individual. So let's delve into that a little bit. Let's go and take a look. For those of you that are watching on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube. I stream every Thursday night and I share my screens and I show people how to deal with bugs like, bed bugs, cockroaches, silverfish, all kinds of insects. I try to teach people how to do pest control. And so if you're interested in following me, go hit me up over on YouTube. I do have a lot of screen shares and stuff I do there that I just can't do with a cell phone. So if anybody's interested in watching, go ahead. I'm actually answering live questions now. Somebody just asked me how I felt about Apprehend, which is a pesticide for the control of bed bugs. And I wanted to explain why I don't use it. So if you go to Apprehend, you search Apprehend pesticide, and there's the pesticide there. It looks like you can actually buy it now. So it is in stock. It is available. You can buy it on this, at least this site right here sells it. The problem with Apprehend, and the reason that I don't recommend Apprehend for the standard user, just somebody trying to kill their bed bugs, is because if you go to, let's see, do they sell it on Do Your Own? They do. They do it on Do It Yourself. They do sell it. I don't recommend buying it because you need special, let's see, apprehend.com. Now, this is their website. If you want, the products are here. Here's the product. Now, the problem with Apprehend is that you have to buy this system right here, this sprayer. And this sprayer it's a special, so it's going to be a weird picture here. Let me see if I can click this magnifier. There we go. So if you look at the nozzle right there, this is a special low pressure system. It's not like the B&G or a pump sprayer. It's a low pressure system that applies the pesticide, which it's actually a biopesticide. It's based in, it's a spore. It's actually a mold spore or a fungal spore that attacks the exoskeleton of the bed bug. That's the way Apprehend works. And so it has to have a very low pressure system rather than a high pressure system because you want to have an even disbursement of the spores and you don't want to tear up the pesticide. You want to get an even coat band all the way around the bed. You treat it in a bunch of similar way as you would Crossfire, but you're wanting to use you're wanting to do a more, you have to hold it so far back. It's very hard to explain. There are videos on their website explaining exactly how to do it. But if you can get this system and you buy Apprehend and you want to go for that, that's fine. Apprehend's a lot more expensive than Crossfire. Crossfire's a lot cheaper than Apprehend. And so that's another reason I try to recommend Apprehend is because I believe that it is a cheaper pesticide and I try to save people money. This is why you're here, is because you're having a bug problem. You want to get rid of your bug problem. And you don't want to spend a fortune doing it. Because if you didn't mind spending a fortune doing it, you'd just hire pest control. I've been doing pest control for over 30 years of my life, and it is rather expensive for bed bug control. Now, not all pest control is, expensive or out of reach for the consumer. When you're talking about general pest control, like for cockroaches or ants or fleas or something like that, usually that's a lot more in the range of something someone can afford. But when you're doing a bed bug control, you're going to spend sometimes thousands of dollars to get rid of bed bugs. So let's see. The next question is, got 2 pro treatments for bed bugs so far. Does it take longer for them to die with Alpine? They also use Tempo Dust. Actually, so one of the issues with Alpine is that the Alpine WSG, or even the Alpine PT or whatever they decided to use, bed bugs are starting to develop an immunity to that pesticide, and so it doesn't work as well as it used to. It used to work really, really well. I've used Alpine for the control of bed bugs, and it just doesn't work like it used to. It's not horrible. It does still kill them, but you will run into more chemical-resistant strains of bed bug using Alpine, if that's what they decided to use. C. Richardson says, I got something like that and had to ditch it. I use a simple Master Blaster bottle from Walmart. It's powerful and adjusts $4. So I guess that's the sprayer you decided to buy. I'm guessing that's what a Master Blaster is. Let's see what kind of sprayer that is. Let's see, a Master Blaster. Man, what kind of name is that? Master Blaster. Walmart is where you bought it. So, it's just like a little squirt bottle. Yeah. The problem with squirt bottles is actually mixing the pesticide to label, because it's just a little like a bleach bottle. And I usually don't like a 32-ounce bottle. I usually don't recommend a 32-ounce bottle to mix Crossfire because it's harder to get the measurement correct. Is the Crossfire we buy from Amazon the same strength as Pro Exterminators use? Okay, that's a good question. So, that is Crossfire. All right, I ought to just bring my bottle of Crossfire in here and show it to you. But that is Crossfire right there. That's Crossfire right there. That's exactly the same thing that I buy. I can actually go and buy this pesticide, right? In fact, I probably need to buy some Crossfire, honestly, because I'm running low. I do need to put that on my sheet of things I need to order. But yeah, Crossfire, that's the exact same thing. It's no different. It's the exact same thing. So I would like to try Apprehend at some point. So one thing that C. Richardson asked, when he asked, I want to expand on this a little bit. So there is a belief that pesticides that I purchase, because I'm a professional, I've been doing this all my life. I'm a professional exterminator. I have a license. If I buy pesticides for people, I have a license. The belief in the industry is that I can buy chemicals that you can't buy. The only thing that I can buy in the pest control industry that you cannot buy are restricted use pesticides. So restricted use pesticides are typically more toxic for people, and they may have used to not be restricted and now they are. And one of the reasons is because people may have been abusing the pesticide, and rather than eliminate it completely from the market, they restrict it so that only people who are licensed and insured can purchase it. And it's not that you couldn't purchase it before. In fact, I've been in people's houses where they have old pesticides that have an old label that are no longer, they weren't restricted before, and now they are. And for the same way, a lot of some restricted use actually are made non-restricted, and then you can buy them from anyone. So just because I can buy a pesticide doesn't mean you can't. As long as it's not restricted, you can absolutely buy it. And for example, there are some pesticides that are restricted. So for Crossfire, Crossfire is for bed bugs. That's what I use for bed bugs, and it is restricted in New York. So you cannot buy Crossfire as a consumer in New York. because it is a restricted pesticide in New York, meaning only licensed applicators can purchase it. But if you're a licensed applicator in Virginia, it's not restricted. I can buy it. Plus, you as a consumer can buy it too. In fact, most of the states in the union, you can buy Crossfire. In fact, if we go to Crossfire and we read, it will tell you which states it's restricted in if you try to order it. Let's see. Will it tell me? Let's see. Let's buy now. Let's see what it'll say. Oh, it's wanting me to log in. I'm not going to do that. So, but anyway, if you go in here and you try to log in and you're in a state or a country that Crossfire is not available in, it will tell you they won't ship to you. And the reason they don't ship to you is because it's restricted. So, but there is this big myth in pest control that, exterminators can get the good stuff and you can't. That's not true. What's really the problem is that education. You really just need the education and understand how to use the pesticide, and then you can do your own pest control just like I can. I started doing this when I was a kid, and it's not like my son does it with me too. He's 16. He started with me when he was 8 years old, and he can kill bugs. If an 8-year-old can kill bugs and a 16-year-old can kill bugs, you can kill bugs too. You just need to know how to do it. You just need to get the proper training. How do you feel about Cemexa? I don't like Cemexa. I don't like dust at all. Let's see. Boy. What do you use? Okay, I've got that. Las Vegas, outside, 117 degrees. Car should be 140. How do you feel about apprehend? So if the car is 140, I would put a thermometer in there and just see what the temperature was. But a lot of times I will tell people in the summertime, if they're having problems with bed bugs in their car, that they can park their car in like a Walmart parking lot where there's no shade and point the car in a way that it gets most of the daytime sun through the windshield and through maybe the back windshield. The only thing is, if the bed bugs are in the trunk is insulated. It does not get hot in the trunk like it does in the passenger compartment. So that's one thing you need to realize. Let's see here. So I'm sorry, Gonzalez, I missed your question. Things fly by and I skip over questions all the time. So if you have a problem and I haven't answered your question yet, just re-answer. Someone on TikTok says, do you know anything that kills moths? Yes, mothballs. Mothballs will kill moths. If you have a problem with moths in your closets, in your clothing, in your pantry even, you could take a little bag of mothballs and you can set it over in your pantry, close the door, and it will kill the moths in your pantry. That's what mothballs are for. Somebody is wanting to go. I can't do that. Oh boy. Hello, this is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. Can I help you?
Yeah. Hey, Jason. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing tonight?
Oh my God, you're a celebrity rock star. I couldn't wait until tonight to get to talk to you.
All right. Well, here you are. What's going on?
Okay, so obviously I have bed bugs, right?
Okay.
I've had them. Actually, I don't know how long I've had them, but they're there and they're biting me. I have, before I started YouTubing and finding out the do's and don'ts, I did leave out of my room and I did move to the couch in the living room, but okay. I have not been bitten in the living room. I called a guy over, Exterminator. He came over. He charged me $400 to do a heat treatment. I did not go for that because I found you. So I have ordered my Crossfire and a pump. It is a plastic pump. I didn't know if I needed a brass one or not, but I ordered a plastic one with a brass one, right. And it will be here tomorrow from Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, so now, I don't want to kill myself.
So I don't want you to do that either.
I know it's so I know it's supposed to be 115 ounces, and then put the 13 in to make the one whatever.
So
38.
What I usually, is it a gallon sprayer?
Yes, it is.
So usually what I do, when I mix a gallon of Crossfire, I take the gallon sprayer and I fill it half full of water, and then I pour the Crossfire in, and then I fill it the rest of the way with water. And that way you get the full gallon and you don't have to measure the 115 ounces right out. You see what I'm saying? You're still getting the full total gallon. And also, and this is actually, it'll tell you that on the label to do the same thing. But the reason you mix pesticides that way is because as you're pouring the water on top of the already, the water, plus basically you're making a Crossfire sandwich. So you got water and Crossfire and water on top. When you pour the water on top, it will actually agitate the chemical and it will help mix it in, because Crossfire is really thick. You'll notice when you pour it in, it's thicker than water. And so you shake it up real good, pour it on in there, and then after you get your water added to it, you put your pump all in and everything, get it all together, and shake it real good, and that'll help agitate it too. And you want to reshake your tank about every 5 or 10 minutes as you're using it. If you have to sit it down for a little while you're turning over mattresses and stuff like that, when you pick it up, shake it before you spray it. That way you keep it mixed, and it's always mixed at the top strength. Because it will separate. It'll actually separate from the water.
Right. I heard you say that. Now, nobody else has mentioned this, but I'm going to put my business out there. I am a grade A hoarder. So my room is extremely cluttered.
Oh, yeah. I've been into those. I've been in those houses like that before with bed bugs. They're hard to treat.
And I don't want to take anything out of the room.
Right.
Because I'm not supposed to take anything out of the room. You said don't move stuff around.
Right.
So how do I go about spraying?
All right. So the hardest part for you is going to be getting the mattress and the box spring up off the bed frame, because you really do need to do that. Typically what I do is so usually it's me and my son that do the bed bug work. So we will work together to kind of clear a path so we can get the mattress out of the room. We pick that up, we drag it out, we pick up the box spring, we drag it up. Sometimes I'll leave the box spring just sitting on the frame and kind of shift it around and move it around. It just depends on how cluttered the room is. But if I've got a spot to sit them both off of the bed frame, I do that. And then I treat the frame, I treat the bed rails, I treat the headboard and the footboard to the best of my ability. But the main thing is, as long as you're getting the box spring and the mattress heavily treated, the bed bugs are going to crawl out of your belongings if they are in your belongings, and they are going to come to you on the bed. Now, you want to treat anywhere the bed bugs are living. If you know the bed bugs are living in your dresser, that's when you want to take your dresser apart, treating your dresser, basically pull the drawers out and treat all around, pull clothes out and everything like that. But I don't usually recommend going to all that extreme to taking everything in and out of everything. I usually just just focus on the bed, because that's where the bed bugs are going to want to go. You want to treat your couch too, not just your bed, but you treat your sofa and your lazy boy chairs, and the whole house should really get treated the best that you can, because you've got an entire gallon. You will not use a gallon in one bedroom. You're going to be lucky to use a quarter of a gallon in one bedroom. You're not going to use a lot of pesticide. You don't have to. It's really not about how much you're using. It's about where you're applying it. You quality over quantity, if you understand what I'm saying.
I absolutely do. Now, here's the thing. I am not on a bed rail. I am on the floor. The box spring is on the floor along with the mattress, and it's a pillow top.
Okay, so what you need to... pillow tops are the worst. So when... mainly just because you have to pull... Okay, so I'm gonna use a euphemism here, and YouTube might not like it later when the video goes live, but I don't care. So when you're treating a pillow top, the way I explain it... So I've got little kids. I've got... a 2-year-old that's being potty trained. I help potty train my 8-year-old. And when they're done using the bathroom, you got to go in there, you got to spread their cheeks, you got to wipe their butt. And so when you do a pillow top mattress, you've got to spread that pillow up off of that mattress, just like you're spreading butt cheeks to wipe a butt. And you need to spray in that crack all the way around that pillow top. And you need to do the same thing on your couch. So where the couch cushions, if they don't come off, a lot of couch cushions nowadays are sewn to the couch. And so if you've got those cushions sewn in, you need to spread those apart too, and spray between all those cushions and everything really thoroughly. But when you're going, so treat your floor, but treat your floor in your bedroom, treat it like a platform bed. So if your box spring is laying on the floor, you want to treat everywhere your box spring lays on the floor underneath the box spring, because it's just as if it were a platform bed, because basically that's what you've got. Yeah, it's laying on the floor, but it would be the exact same setup if it was a platform bed. So you need to treat underneath where the box spring lays. You treat your box spring, take the felt off the bottom of the box spring, treat inside the box spring, and then lay it back down on top of that treated floor. Then treat your mattress and put it on top of the treated box spring. And then wait a few hours, let everything dry, and then you can go in there, make your bed, and sleep on it that night. But you want to make sure that you're using your bed, or so that the bed bugs will come out and bite you. I know a lot of people like to avoid them. They don't want to sleep in the bed where the bed bugs are because they don't want them to come out and bite them. But what you got to realize is you're killing the majority of the problem just by treating your mattress and your box spring. You're going to kill the live bugs then. The ones that are coming out to bite you are the ones that are hidden in places that you may not be able to get the spray to get to. It's not going to be able to penetrate everywhere.
Correct. Okay, one more thing. I had my carpet pulled up. So when they pulled up the carpet, this is prior to the bed bugs.
Okay.
So when the carpet got pulled up, the tack strips that were there got pulled up as well. So there is a substantial, maybe 3 or 4 inch gap between my baseboard and the floor. So I know that's where they're hiding it.
Right, yes, and you need to treat in that crack.
Okay, now here's the thing. I haven't seen them anywhere else in the house.
Okay.
I've only seen them in my room.
Okay.
And I believe my uncle brought them over when he came because he had them.
Okay.
And I didn't know anything. I was completely ignorant to the fact. But he slept in the guest room, and my roommate is in the guest room, and there are none in there. Now, I know some people don't get symptoms, so I'm thinking maybe he's getting bitten. He doesn't know he's getting bit. But
well,
I
they may not.
A bed bug in his room.
There may not be any bed bugs in the other room. The thing is that I err on the side of caution. I prefer to go ahead and just treat the whole house. That's just how I am. So I just went and serviced a house a few weeks ago where the woman called me on the phone, and she said that she's treated her whole house, and the only room she was really concerned with was her one bedroom where her daughter was sleeping. And when I got there, I said, well, would you mind if I just at least inspected the rest of the house? I said, I like to do every room, but let me go through and just look and see, what's going on in any other rooms of the house. So I went through and I checked all the other rooms, and I actually ended up finding bed bugs on one of the guest bedroom beds. And so she's like, okay, well, that's just it. Just treat the whole house. And so, but that's what I wanted to do. That's the reason I went through and checked everything, because I'm like, look, when I leave from your house, you're going to tell people, Green Akers Pest Control came out here and treated my house, and they either knew what they were doing or they didn't know what they're doing. And if you're not doing a complete and total treatment, you're really not doing the job correctly. You really do need to do it all. There was an article that was written by the Department of Agriculture. It was put out maybe 4 years ago in Virginia. And they stated one of the most serious problems with the bed bug infestation in Virginia, and the reason it's gotten so bad, is because exterminators are going out and they're doing these really dirt cheap jobs. They're charging by the bedroom, and they're only doing one room where the customer's complaining. And all that does is just stir the pot around, because if you've got eggs anywhere else in the house, the eggs are going to eventually hatch, and they're going to cause you the problem, and the problem was never eliminated. Not fully.
Okay, so I should do what you did on your drawing with Jason technique and just get the baseboards around the rest of the rooms?
Right. You need to treat.
I'm telling you, I got stuff all in every room.
Just do the best you can. I mean, there are sometimes I have to do the best I can with bed bugs too. I mean, I go in houses. I did a hoarder house before. I've done lots of hoarder houses. And when you go in there, you're just like, okay, here goes. I'm going to give it my best shot. But understand that because your house is in the condition that it's in, you may end up having to treat more than once, just because you're trying to pull them out of everywhere in the house. You may just have to treat more than once. It's still going to be cheaper than hiring somebody to come in there and do it, and they'll make you take everything out of the house.
Oh, correct. They will. I've been told that too.
Yeah.
So I'm spraying the bed, not just the seams. I'm spraying the entire mattress and the entire box spring. You really want to concentrate your treatment on the seams of the mattress. Those are the places that bed bugs are going to burrow into. If you've got a hexagonal design on like the top of the mattress, you want to treat everywhere there's a seam on the mattress. Those are the places you're going to want to target.
On your box spring, you want to treat the seam. There's like a little bubble seam that goes all the way around the whole box spring. On the top and the bottom typically is just stapled. And so the bottom you treat all around the staples. You pull those little plastic guards off the corner and just throw them away and treat the whole entire box spring and then put it all back together. But you need to make sure you treat inside the box spring just as much as you treat the outside, and that will up your chance of success with just one treatment. You need to be very thorough, and if you treat as much as you can treat luggage bags, you can treat your shoes, you can treat like I said, I treat my shoes before I even go in a bed bug job, just because I know, like the bottoms, the soles, because I know that where I'm going to walk, there's always a possibility that I'm going to pick up an egg or a bed bug on my shoe, and I want to make sure it dies and doesn't go home with me. So you can do that. It actually, the label allows. Now, you're not supposed to wear your shoes after you treat them, so I might be breaking a rule there on myself. So I wouldn't recommend treating your shoes and then wearing them, but you need to dry them first and then wear them.
Okay, and as far as my car, do I just go in there with the wand and just hit the button and let it go?
You treat the edges. So I do have a video on a car. It's easier to explain it with the video, and so I would go and just search my channel for Bed Bug Car, and it's actually, the thumbnail looks like a Volkswagen Beetle. It's like a red Beetle or something like that on there, and it's like how to treat a car for bed bugs, cockroaches, and stuff like that. And so I would go look for that and watch it, because it's easier to explain it with the video. That's why I did the video, because I have a hard time explaining how to treat a car.
Okay. I think I got it. I know I had a list of questions and I didn't want to miss a thing. You are awesome, by the way.
Well, thank you.
When I tell you, Jason, I have been studying bed bugs for a month now. I'm almost an expert. That's how bad I'm like trying to get rid of these things. I got baking soda all over the floor.
Vacuum that stuff up. That's just gross. It'll make your house smell nice, so take the odor out.
I know. And then I listened to my uncle, who told me to saturate my mattress in bleach. So now I want to know, can I even lay on my mattress? Because I did spray it with bleach.
How long ago was that, though?
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, you could probably use your mattress as long as it's dry.
Okay.
But there's one thing you need to know, and this is actually, I'm glad you said something. So for everyone that's in chat that's listening to this phone call conversation, bleach is something you do not want to use after you've sprayed a pesticide. Bleach is a neutralizing agent, and it will actually neutralize the pesticide if it comes into contact with the pesticide after the pesticide is applied. Now, if you're cleaning with bleach, and that's just what you do, then you just want to avoid the places that you've sprayed the chemical. You can spray it after things have been cleaned. I always tell my customers, if you're going to clean with bleach, do it right before I'm supposed to come to the house, and then I can come and I can treat, and you don't have to worry about washing the chemical away. But yeah, I always try to tell people, be very careful using bleach when you're using pesticides.
So I should wait at least 2 more days before I get started then.
Oh no, you're good now. You're good now. It's been a couple days since the bleach was sprayed. You're fine. So if I were to come to your house and treat your house and you just treated with bleach yesterday, it's not going to hurt the pesticide at all. I can come in and use the chemical. It's not going to hurt it. It's just don't do it after you spray.
Do you make trips to Georgia?
No, actually, I was gonna go to Georgia. I was gonna drive to Savannah next week, but we decided to cancel the trip because of the cases have been real bad down south. So we're not. And my wife's pregnant, so she's due in October, and we decided we weren't going to do it. We're going to wait until things calm down a little bit.
Well, is there another you that you trust that resides in Georgia?
Not that I know. If anybody contacts me and tells me they use Crossfire, I would recommend them to you. But the problem is that the exterminators are doing heat treatments everywhere, and they don't want to use a pesticide anymore. And I think it has a lot to do with the liability insurance, because it's hard work doing bed bug work like I do. When you're going in and flipping mattresses and box springs, you almost have to have 2 or 3 people to do the job right, without hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, one more question.
All right,
How
one
do you
more.
feel about the Bed Bug Sniffing Dog?
Oh, they're great. They're great. I recommend them.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend the Bed Bug Dog. If you can't find the bed bugs and you think you might have them, but you're not sure and you can't find them, it doesn't hurt at all to get a second opinion, and a Bed Bug Dog is a good idea.
Okay, great. That's what I wanted to know.
All right. Well, you
Oh
have
my
a
God,
great
so
night. I
much
appreciate your
you.
call.
Thank you so much, Jason. You're freaking awesome.
You
You're a
have a good
lifesaver.
night. Thank you. Boy, oh boy, that was a lot of really good questions all at once. So let's see what we got going on here. Let's scroll back up and read some more questions. What do you prefer for German cockroaches? I like to use Alpine WSG, Nygaard. I like. Let's see, what else do I use? I use Vendetta. Vendetta with Nygaard is great. In fact, I prefer Vendetta Plus. That's what I prefer. I don't like Vendetta plain Vendetta. I like it with Nygaard in it. Also, what's the other one? Advion. Oh, I got a call. Hello, good evening. This is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. Can I help you?
Hello, my name's Jersey Hudson.
Well, hello, Jersey.
I was actually just in the process of watching your live stream.
Okay.
So I have just one question, probably like one. I've been dealing with bed bugs for like, I would say about a month now, a month and a half.
Okay.
The Exterminator from Oregon, I don't know if you guys know Oregon Pest Control.
Oh, everybody knows Oregon.
Yeah. So I'm up in New York State, and I had them come around here and do a bed bug, like, they like sprayed some stuff. I don't even know if they actually sprayed anything because I was gone at work. And they came down here and sprayed everything. Well, the first time they refused to do any treatment because they said there is no evidence that you have an infestation. And they said we can't do anything until you find one, put it in a bag, and call us. And I was like, well, the evidence is on my body. I'm getting tons of bites.
Right.
And so...
Have you found any bed bugs?
So I haven't. I've only seen two.
Oh, but you've seen them. So you know you've got them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
The first day that I got one, it was right on my leg when I was just like watching a video of some sort, and I just panicked. Like I could not.
So they won't do anything, like not even preventative? Because preventative will help a lot.
Well, that's the thing. That's what they did a few weeks ago. Is they came back, and my apartment building maintenance guy told me, he was like, yeah, well, they can come in and do some stuff, just for preliminary precautions. And I was like, but I thought the last guy told us he couldn't do anything. And they were like, well, yeah, but we don't want that happening. And I was like, so is everybody else going to be getting treated? No, just your apartment. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense because what if they come back? He was like, well, don't worry about that. I was like, well, that's great. And so that's when I bought 4 gallons of 99% isopropyl alcohol, 2 13-ounce bottles of Crossfire, and yeah, I mean, I diluted it properly. My question is I just bought a new carpet cleaner, and I was wondering if that would remove the residual chemical.
It can.
Because I sprayed all the bases.
It depends. So carpet cleaners, some carpet cleaners, like so the one that my wife has, she has a carpet cleaner, and it heats the water in order to clean the carpet, and that can pull the Crossfire residue out of the where you've sprayed. But typically the places you're going to treat with Crossfire for bed bugs is going to be like around the baseboards where the carpet meets the baseboard. You don't really spray the whole floor everywhere. You just want to treat mainly the edges around the baseboards, maybe crown molding, maybe around a little bit on your your curtain, like not the curtains themselves, but the curtain rods where the bed bugs, sometimes they'll live in curtain rods. And so places like that are where you're going to concentrate your Crossfire treatment. So if you wanted to come through and carpet clean your carpets, you could, but you just want to kind of avoid the areas where you've treated.
Okay. Yeah, and I noticed in the 4 corners of my bedroom, well, between my door, when I open my door, like near the hinges towards the bottom, the carpet meets the baseboard, and I noticed that there was droppings there. That was the first place that I found.
Yeah, I saw a house like that just the other day, just day before yesterday. I was in a house that looked like that, where you'd open the door and they were right beside the bed, where the molding is, right there.
Yep. And I've never seen any on my mattress. And you know, the guy that I talked to was very mad that I used all of this, you know, the DIY hacks that everybody else hears about. And I was like, well, in the heat of the moment, I had no clue
Well,
how to
now
deal
the
with it.
alcohol, now I can understand. So alcohol is actually, it will kill bed bugs, but it only kills on contact. It doesn't kill through a
Yeah.
residue. So the problem with alcohol is, all right. So let's say you treat your mattress with the Crossfire, and so the Crossfire is on the mattress, and then you spray with alcohol to kill the bed bugs on contact, because once Crossfire has dried, it takes a little while for a bed bug to die after it's crawled. It may be more than what you'd like. And so you decide to get a squirt bottle and spray it with alcohol. Well, the alcohol has now come into contact with the Crossfire residue, and it can tamper with the residue of Crossfire. And so that's why once you use the Crossfire, you don't really want to use anything else as far as pesticides, or any DIY like diatomaceous earth, Cemexa, nothing like that. You don't really want to use that stuff once you've applied the Crossfire, because you can counteract what you've done with Crossfire, if that makes sense. Alcohol's cheap, Crossfire's not.
Does it? Yeah, literally. Does it neutralize the Crossfire though?
It can, and that's the problem, because
Okay.
alcohol will break things down. A lot of times you can clean things with alcohol. You can take alcohol and it will take the residues and stuff off of areas. And so I would not mix alcohol with Crossfire ever.
Okay. Yeah, because the only thing is that I don't know, because it says on the bottle that you can mix it with other pesticides.
Yes.
Obviously, alcohol isn't a pesticide, but like, will it like counteract with the stuff that our current exterminator already put? Even if he did or not do anything to this apartment, do you think?
He probably came in and sprayed something like Temperate FX or something similar is more than likely what he used. I know Orkin. I used to know all the pesticides Orkin used because I've been behind them so much, but they're not. I don't think they call them a whole lot out in Lynchburg like they do in Roanoke. But I service the whole area, like southern Virginia area, from Lynchburg to Bedford to Roanoke, even up into Charlottesville and around different areas. And so when I was doing more work in Roanoke, I ran into a lot more Orkin jobs. But I know that Temperate is a really big. It's a cheap pesticide. It's got bed bugs on the label, and a lot of exterminators use it to eliminate bed bugs. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. What the problem is that it has to be used so regularly in order to kill the Crossfires. You have to do it like to kill the bed bugs. You have to use it like every 7 to 10 days to kill bed bugs effectively. And that might be what they used. But the Crossfire is only once a month, so you could treat less often, and it's just as effective, if not more effective, than Temperate.
Yeah, because these people were under the impression that they would come back every 90 days, and they said that the chemical they use lasts longer, but they'd rather be safe than sorry. And I just don't know what chemical lasts. 90 days.
There are very few pesticides that will actually last 90 days. Advion, I said Advion, I was reading the text messages here in the chat. But the Alpine WSG lasts 30 to 60 days. Demon Max will last 90 days. A lot of your synthetic pyrethroids will last 90 days. It's a possibility they might have used bifenthrin, which that'll last 90 days. Which is one of the reasons why if you ever buy Home Defense, it will say right on the label you only need to apply it once every 90 days because bifenthrin lasts 90 days. So they might have used something like that. They may have thought they used something that lasts 90 days and didn't, because you can get when you're a pest control, and this is just, let's just play devil's advocate. When you're applying a lot of different pesticides and you may have 12, 15 different things in your arsenal that you can use, it's easy to get things mixed up and tell a customer one thing and then be confused and think that it's another. That happens all the time. That's happened with me. I'll be right honest. I've told people that Alpine lasts 90 days when really it only lasts 60 days, but that's because I got it confused with Demon and other things that I've used before.
Now, he was telling me, because he was very mad that I used this stuff, and this was the branch manager, and he said he was kind of pissed that I bought some of that like bed bug spray from just a regular Dollar General, and he said that kind of stuff, they can be, one, resistant to it.
Right.
Because we'll just have eggs, and then the eggs and the babies will just be resistant to it.
That's
and
correct.
Then he said, too, they will go into dormancy, so you never know when they're going to come back out.
That's correct.
And so because you sprayed all of that stuff from the store, now they're in dormancy and going to sleep.
Well, see, now that's actually, so he's kind of right, maybe half right. So what happens is, so if you were to use home defense, to give you an example, home defense is bifenthrin. That's the active ingredient in home defense. So home defense can last up to 90 days. It is a repellent. So the bed bugs see home defense, they know what it is, and they know they can't cross it. If they do, they'll die. So they just don't. And so they will just lay dormant, so to speak. They don't need to come out. They know you're there. They can smell you. They want to come out. They will come out as soon as the pesticide is no longer effective. So they're not going through like a hibernative state, or they don't go to sleep or anything like that. They just kind of hold back and wait until they can cross the chemical safely, and then they come out and bite you. And so most of those pesticides can last. It is kind of, I kind of share in his annoyance a little bit with that too, because I've been behind customers that have gone in and they've sprayed the stuff, and it's like, I want to be able to eliminate the problem quickly. I want to be able to get in there and get it done. And I actually went behind a professional exterminator one time who used Talstar for bed bugs. And Talstar is a 90-day residue. It's bifenthrin's the active ingredient, and it is 90-day residue. And it took me 3 months to get rid of the bed bugs, because we were really just waiting until there was a gap in the chemical here, and there was a gap. And you could tell when it started to break down at certain intervals, because they would have these big outbursts of bed bugs all at once, ready to feed. And they would call me and they would say, we got bit like 50 times last night all at once, because now they can all get out and bite you because the chemical is no longer effective. And so that's a little annoying for an exterminator that knows what to do, that's doing the right thing. And it doesn't sound like the guy is completely, clueless. I think he probably does understand what he's doing.
Well, and then they were saying that there was roaches next door. And I was like, so are they going to put something like preventative measures for that as well over here? And they were like, no, it's not a problem over there now. I was like, but it could be.
Oh, the bed bug chemical will kill the roaches. If the roaches try to come over there with whatever they've sprayed for bed bugs, it'll kill the roaches.
Oh, okay. Well, worth it.
Yep. Yeah.
But,
in fact, a lot of the houses I do for bed bugs, I just treat the house for the bed bugs, and all the bugs die. They don't just, not just bed bugs, but spiders and crickets and ants and silverfish and roaches and everything just dies.
Yeah, that's interesting. But, we still have fruit flies. I don't know how they survived. They're resilient.
Well, you can't spray someone's fruit.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And yeah, I obviously sprayed my entire mattress. The only thing that I can't do is, because my memory foam mattress, I don't have a box spring.
Right.
So that's not an issue. But all four corners have dots. I noticed that. And I sprayed the bottoms and the sides and underneath and vacuumed before I sprayed Crossfire, because, folks, that's what it says on the label. Vacuum before you use it.
Right. Clean up really well. Yeah, I agree, because you don't want... Yeah. Okay, because let's say you don't vacuum. Let's say you don't vacuum and you got a dirty house, and then you go and you spray Crossfire, and it makes a dirty, muddy mess in the floor because there's dirt around. And then you decide, oh, that's gross. So then you clean it up. And then there's no more chemical there. Or someone walks through and the dust that you've sprayed gets blown away, and then the Crossfire is on the dust is taken away, so now you got Crossfire dust somewhere else where it doesn't need to be. So it's always a good idea to sweep and vacuum before you apply any pesticide in the house.
Now, I don't know if it was you or somebody else that I was watching, but they were saying that the aerosol version isn't as effective because of the propellant. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It's
not a bad alternative. So if you can, there are some places that can't get the liquid concentrate Crossfire but they can get the aerosol. And so if that's what you can get that. And if you want to use something, like if you've got a regular exterminator that's coming to the house and you're dealing with this bed bug problem, and you want something that's a quick, like spray it on the bed bug and kill it right away, that's where you would use something like the Crossfire propellant, because you could buy that and use it in between trips if you're wanting to get some quick knockdown and you're just not wanting to wait the full, however many 2 or 3 hours for the bed bugs to die.
Interesting.
So
now,
that it is a good tool. It's not the end all solution, but it is a good tool.
Interesting. Now, do you know why? Because my roommate is literally right across from my bedroom.
Okay.
And she hasn't had. Well, no, not my bedroom, but she has a bedroom right next to mine, and she hasn't had any bites whatsoever. And I don't understand how that's like.
Well,
I don't understand.
So there's lots of different reasons that someone may not be having a bed bug problem and you are. So it could be that you just have the body chemistry and they're attracted to you. Or it could be that they're not having a reaction to the bites, because not everybody does. But more than likely,
I thought about that.
Well, more than likely, she just doesn't have them in her bedroom yet. If they get really bad, they'll start spreading into her room, and then she'll start getting them.
Well, that's kind of scary, because I was trying to think, because the only thing is she smokes in there, but I don't even think that's.
No, that doesn't matter. That don't matter.
Maybe I need to start smoking.
No, that doesn't. Don't do that. Don't take years off of your life because the bed bugs are bothering you. But no, the thing is it doesn't matter if you smoke or not. I've been in bed bug infested houses with ashtrays heaping over with cigarettes right on the bed, and the bed bugs are there living in the ashtray. So, nah, it doesn't. That doesn't keep them away.
So I just want to double check with you. So the things like diatomaceous earth, lavender scented dryer sheets, vinegar, baking soda, all of those kinds of things do not work, correct?
Correct. They're cheap, but they don't work.
Yeah, I don't understand why people believe that stuff, because
they want to
the
believe
people at work are now the people at work are having me put all of my stuff in my bags and bags and stuff like that, and it's just a mess.
The thing about these home remedies is people want to believe that there's a quick, easy way to get rid of their problems. And most of the time, whether it's in pest control or really anything, here's my life lesson for the night. There's never really a quick, easy solution for any problem. It's really, most problems that are true problems, they're not that easy to get rid of. And it's definitely not cheap, and you're going to have to work hard to do it. And that's just the way it is. And if you're willing to put in the elbow grease and the time, you can absolutely get rid of bed bugs on your own. That's what I'm here trying to teach people about. That's what I started my YouTube on, bed bugs, and I talk about bed bugs all the time. I'm just I want to ease people's mind. I've got all these people in chat. I will probably have to get off the phone so I can leave it open for someone else to call. But there's so many people that ask me about bed bugs, and I just try to give them the honest answer and help them get rid of their problems. So, but it's not easy. It's not. It's easy in concept. It's not easy in application. When you're talking about flipping beds upside down and turning sofas upside down and taking sectionals apart and flipping up recliners and all the places that you have to treat, it's hard work. It's the most labor-intensive thing that I do as an exterminator, and I cover things like termites and all kinds of stuff. But when you talk about a bed bug job, I'm tired at the end of the day. I earned my money that day. That's hard work.
Yep. Oh yeah, 'cause, now I come home and I obsessively vacuum. I have marks on my fingers just from vacuuming so much. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Now when I look down at my rug, any black spot I will look at up close in person.
I know it affects you.
It's just it's constantly on my mind. I cannot stop thinking about them.
Well, you have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and hang up now and try to answer some more questions. The list is getting a mile long, and I have a hard time keeping up. So you have a real good night. I appreciate your call.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Have a great night.
Bye. All righty. Sorry about that, everybody. I know that I'm trying to get to everybody and trying to answer phone calls, and I've got people on TikTok asking me questions. I've got one lady on TikTok that actually asked, Do you have to throw away all of your furniture before you get a treatment? And no, you don't. And that's a big misconception. A lot of people believe that you have to throw away your couch, you have to throw away your bed, you have to throw away all this furniture. And that's why I use Crossfire, so you don't have to throw away your furniture. You can just treat your furniture with Crossfire and the bed bugs will die. So there's no reason to throw away your furniture. Now, some people may want to throw away their bed if it gets a bunch of bed bug poop all over it and it's nasty and gross and you don't want to sleep on it. That's understandable, but you don't have to. You can clean that. It does clean off. How much area does pesticide cover if it's mixed 1 gallon of water? Like, will I be able to do a whole house or just a couple of rooms? Typically, I can treat an entire house with 1 gallon easily and have leftover. James Martin says, the situation is getting better. Notice maybe 2 bites instead of 10. And then the roach questions. I think I already answered John's question about roaches. How is heat? Heat is no good. Can a mattress be treated with Crossfire in a regular spray bottle? I don't recommend a regular spray bottle because it's too hard to mix it to the right proper ratio. And I will be right back. I have got to run and use the restroom. Sorry about that. I'm back. There we go. Let's see if I can get to some more questions now. Can a mattress be treated with Crossfire in a regular spray bottle? Already answered that. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Recent subscriber. Hello, Black Butterfly. Nice to see you. Welcome to the family. Stephen G. Would you mix Alpine with Teco and Exciter? Maybe. I typically only use Nygaard right now. That's what I have the best results with, so that's what I use. Let's see. Burko says good night. Mob T says, what do you think about Nuvostrips? I don't recommend them. They create a toxic vapor, and I try to do things on my channel that are safe. Do all exterminators have this Crossfire that you recommend? No, actually, they should. They should. So I've done bed bug control for over 20, almost 23 years. The very first bed bug job I did, I was 17 years old. I will be 40 in December. And the first one I did, I think it was like April, and I've been licensed since February of the year. I don't know what year it was. I'll be 40 this year. You guys do the math. But I don't understand why, when a chemical is really, really effective, why other exterminators don't start using it. I really don't. I've helped a lot of exterminators make the jump into Crossfire where they were maybe more cautious and not really wanting to go that route. Or they were worried that maybe if they tried Crossfire that it wasn't going to work. And a lot of exterminators have listened to my advice on YouTube and they're like, hey, I'm going to try it. If Jason says it works, maybe it does, and they've tried it and they have not looked back, just like I haven't looked back. But Crossfire was recommended to me by a local exterminator in Northern Virginia. He called me because of my YouTube channel, and he was asking me, he's like, hey, what are you doing for stink bugs? And I talked to him for a little bit, and I got to talking to him, and I said, so what are you doing for bed bugs now? Because I've noticed there's a resistance in Virginia now to pyrethrin. There's these pyrethroid resistant bed bug strains that I'm having a hard time killing. And he said, oh, I use Crossfire. You should try it. Now, I had heard of Crossfire from a sales rep, but I take everything from a salesman with a grain of salt. I don't really believe everything a salesman will tell you. And so I try, and that might be why a lot of exterminators are more cautious about trying it, because salesmen will tell you things, but I'm not a salesman for Crossfire. I do have it on Amazon. You can go to my Amazon link. It's there. You can buy it. But the only reason that I offer that link is because I have people that ask me through my YouTube channel all the time, how can I get it? Where's a reputable site where I can find it? And I just have it there provided so you can find it. But I always tell people you should price compare. You should always go to like Do Your Own and all the different websites. eBay even sometimes will have it on sale. But I try to only list through people that are trusted sellers through Amazon. And so those are the links I put. I'm not actually selling the product. I don't have it in stock. I don't sell it. I don't pay sales tax. I don't do all that crap. I let Amazon handle that. So, but anyway, that was a question that came from TikTok. So, I have, C. Richardson, I have had great results with Crossfire for my aunt. I am doing a series of 2-week treatments, then go into a monthly maintenance. I get 4 treatments out of a 13-ounce bottle for her 500 square foot apartment. Andrew says, I live in New York and I can't buy Crossfire. The next best option, I do have Alpine WSG. Alpine does work a lot of times. It is still really effective. The bed bugs are starting to develop an immunity to it. It's like a 25% immunity to it, but it does still effectively kill bed bugs. In fact, I would probably argue that it does a better job than Tempered, which is the other option. And Alpine does last 30 to 60 days, where Tempered you have to treat every week and a half or so. And the question from Joyce says, or JC on TikTok says, thank you very much. And are you able to spray this on your mattress? Yes, that's actually what the label says. If you read the label, always read the label of your pesticides. This is for everybody. Always read your labels. Before you even purchase it, always read your label. Because if you read the label, and you'll know exactly how it's supposed to be used. And if you still feel comfortable doing what the label says, then by all means give it a shot. Oh, Jennifer, hey, nice to see you. I finally got to you. But Jennifer says that once every 2 weeks is more often than the label says. So the label of Crossfire allows for once a month, but it actually allows for once a week if you want to use it that often. I don't recommend it because it lasts 30 days. Just use it once a month. FL, can you talk about bat bugs? Yes, I can. I've got a video on TikTok of bat bugs, and I might have put it on YouTube, but here's the thing about TikTok, and people who are in my TikTok channel know this. TikTok has got this really cool feature where you can use really cool bumper music. You can have really cool background music on your videos, like YouTube used to be. YouTube used to be this really cool platform that you could go in and you could have really awesome music. You could have stuff from like Pitbull or, pop music, whatever. I say Pitbull because that's just the first song that popped into my head because I like him. But, you could have any kind of music that you wanted, and you didn't get copyright strikes. You didn't get in trouble. It was just like, man, look at what this cool thing this guy did with my song. And people weren't all offended. But nowadays, you got to be so strict with what you do to YouTube that I do those videos on TikTok. And so if you're wanting to follow me on TikTok, I recommend you do that because it is a pretty cool platform. The videos are just little like 15 seconds, 60 seconds, and 3-minute long clips. They're not long. It's not like the stuff I put on YouTube. Some of my videos are 20 minutes long. I just did a video this week. The video that went live Tuesday was 5 of the top worst bee stings I've ever received on the job. It's every bee sting I've ever received, each bee that's ever stung me, and I rate them on a pain scale of 1 to 10. And so that's a 20-minute long video because I'm going over 5 different types of bees. And I can't do that on TikTok. I gotta just do a quick snippet of this is a tip about bed bugs, or this is a tip about spiders, or something like that. And that's what I do for TikTok. And you can do this cool background music, which I like. And I just can't do that with YouTube. You know, it's very, very strict on what you can and can't do with YouTube. So, anyway, but yes, bat bugs come on bats. So bat bugs are actually a type of bed bug. They are, in fact, people believe that bed bugs came from bats. So people still, to this day, in other countries, live in caves with bats. Miners go underground and they go into these caves. Diamond mines, coal miners, they're in the cave with bats. And that the bed bugs that prefer humans are actually bat bugs that prefer humans. And so they end up living with humans, and they like humans and they prefer humans, and so that's what they live with. But bed bugs and bat bugs look almost identical. They do look the same with the naked eye. The only way you can tell them apart was with like 30 times magnification. You can get a jeweler's lens, you know, the kind that you just put in your eye, and you can see the difference under that type of magnification. You don't actually need a magnifying, microscope. You don't need a microscope. You could just use a regular magnifying lens, but you can absolutely tell the difference between bat bugs and bed bugs. So, let's see. Because of your videos, I learned that we had bird mites and not bed bugs. Thank you so much for putting out your videos. Well, you're welcome. So let's see. Jason, can I use Exciter with Alpine? Please explain. Let me take a look at Exciter. So this is a pesticide. I think this is a IGR. Yeah, it's an IGR. So you would have to read the label. I don't use Exciter. That's the thing. I don't use it. I don't know a lot about it. Exciter label. Let's see. Oh, it's just perethrins. Oh, I wouldn't put that in at all. I would not put that in with Alpine WSG because it's a perethrin. Perethrins are not a good idea to mix with Alpine WSG because it's because perethrins are counterproductive. Alpine is a non-repellent. Perethrins are a repellent. So I would not mix Excite R with Alpine. I would mix just Zenprox, which is pibronyl butoxide. So let's see. If you want to use something with pibronyl butoxide in it, which is what's Excite R has, so I'll share my screen. So this is the Excite R label. And you'll notice that right here, you've got perethrins. Perethrins and pibronyl butoxide. Those are the active ingredients in Excite R. But if you search Zenprox and you go to them, let's zoom that in. This has got Intofenprox and pibronyl butoxide. So this is actually added as a catalyst to other pesticides. This is what it's for. It provides effective kill of fleas, cockroaches, and other listed pests and can be applied as an indoor broadcast, spot, crack, crevice. So basically the same places you could use Alpine, you can use Zenprox, just about. It mixes easily with water, but it can also be added to, let me see, let me make sure I'm telling you the right thing here, because I'm pretty sure there was one, I thought it was just pibronyl butoxide. Maybe they've changed it. Maybe this is a different label. I think this is a different label. Let me see. Isn't there just a regular Zenprox that isn't? It's the same thing. I'm going to have to look at my labels. I'll tell you what, I'll get back to you on that one, but I'm pretty sure it was Zenprox. Maybe it's always been Zenprox EC. I haven't used the additive in Alpine in forever because Alpine by itself works really good for roaches, and I just haven't had to use it. So, Get off of there. Everybody's got to advertise to you these days. Yeah, this is the same label. It provides up to 28 days residual control of fleas, up to 14 days residual for listed pest species. So JC says, I'm going to get a professional to treat for bed bugs. How often is it needed to treat for them? So if they do a Alpine WSG, I mean, not Alpine, I'm sorry, if a Crossfire treatment, it's once every 30 days. Let's see, what about, so crazy story. Crazy story, but my buddy got infested with a bunch of ants, and he said they straight up slaughtered all the fleas in his house. Is that true or false? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I've been in houses with both fleas and ants. I don't think that's true. But ants will eat termites. I have actually witnessed ants eating termites. Is it true that they can live for up to a year without... Yes, that's true. They live longer than a year, actually. Marina says, you mean to tell me even if they can smell you, they can choose not to come out? Yes, that's true. Nick says, thank you for the explanation, Jason. You make me feel better about my situation. Let's see. Mixing with mineral oil. Nope. Imagine a world without bed bugs. Roaches are a breeze compared to bed bugs. Jersey Hudson. There you are, Jersey. All I have to say is read the label. I agree with that. Nick says, welcome back. James says, since the heat breaks down chemicals, I wanted to use Nuvostrips for my car. Okay, so heat doesn't break down all chemicals. Some chemicals are actually labeled for high heat applications. So if you go to Crossfire and you go to the label, let's look at the label together. So here's a label for Crossfire. Is the next generation insecticide, which effectively kills bed bugs in both residential and commercial buildings and structures. Crossfire Bed Bug Concentrate's patented technology provides residual control for up to 4 weeks after application and is scientifically formulated to target pyrethroid resistant as well as susceptible bed bug strains. Okay, so let us see. It does say that it kills eggs on contact. So I might be wrong when I say that it kills the eggs only through the female. But I have found that it is better to get rid of the eggs and not trust Crossfire to kill the eggs. Because it does say also kills bedbug nymphs and eggs by contact. That's what it says here. Let's see. Let's see. What does it say? What does it say? Looking for the heat, because I know that some of these actually say that it can be used in high heat areas. This product will not stand. Let's see. This product is not for use on humans or animals. Do not spray product directly on pets, not for broadcast use, which means don't spray it all over the floor, which people do tend to do, and I tell them don't do that. That's wrong. Do not use in commercial. Okay. In the home, all food. Okay. Maybe it's not for high heat areas. Huh. I read it somewhere. Maybe it was temperate. Temperate might be the one that can be used for high heat. So let's see. It's approved for direct application on mattresses. Let's see. Let's ask Google. So I don't know. That's what I'm going to have to look into and see if I can't answer. I'm going to write that down. This is what I have to do to remember, is I have to write it down. Can Crossfire be used in high heat? CAR. There we go. I have used Crossfire in cars, and I have killed bed bugs in cars. So I know it works in the middle of summertime. Let's see. I don't think I have a bad case of bed bugs. I just got paid a couple times, so generally one treatment is sufficient, or is this something I have to get every month because I know it's very expensive? So it depends on the service your exterminator offers. Some exterminators will offer a payment plan, and they will service your house 2 or 3 times in a row. Other exterminators do one-time service like me. I offer a one-time service, and if the customer needs me to come back within like a month and a half, I come back, I do it at half price of the original price. So it's never the full price as long as the customer continues to keep me coming, but it's very rare that I have to do that after one treatment. But it really just depends on the area you live in. You know, people ask me this a lot. They say, what is a fair price for someone to pay for an exterminator? And really, it depends on where you live. You know, a lot of things factor into the cost. So like cost of living, you know, the cost of product, shipments. A lot of things have gone up just because it's hard to get products this year with everything that's going on, which of course I can't say because YouTube will get mad at me. But, you know, you can't say the obvious words nowadays because the word police are after everybody. But there are, you know, things that have caused supply to drop, and you can't get the things you need, and the prices have gone up on a lot of things. So this does interfere with other exterminators and what they charge. I have had to go up on my prices for the first time in 5 years this year on some of my just basic pest control prices, just because everything's gone up and it's hard to get things and it makes things more expensive. Gloves, for one, have tripled and quadrupled in price compared to what they were a year and a half ago. Used to be able to get a whole box of, you know, 100 pairs of gloves for, you know what, like $4 or $5, and now it's like $20 a box. So it's ridiculous. The prices have gone up on everything. So price is relative to where you live on what your exterminators are charging you. It doesn't, just because you get a high price, it doesn't mean that, I mean, like for example, the prices I charge here are quite a different, you know, from what they would charge in New York, or what they would charge in New York City, or what they would but then what you get charged in New York City will be different from what you get charged in like upstate New York, because it's just, you know, you've got to factor in the trouble it takes for an exterminator to get to you, and the time it takes for him to drive to your house, and the insurance prices may be higher in the city than it is in the county. And so those are things that I actually factor into the price of an extermination job, and what they have to pay their help. You know, if they've got somebody coming out and doing it for them, what's the cost of living? What are they having to pay them? You know, so that factors into the cost of a bed bug job too. But this is not an economics course. This is about how to kill bed bugs, so let's talk about it a little more. Let's see. Marina says, all exterminators I've encountered were a waste of time. See, I don't think that's true. I think there are some that are, but not all exterminators are a waste of time. So let's see. Does treatment for bat bugs differ from the treatment of bed bugs? Actually, no. So Crossfire is for use for bed bugs and other strains of bed bugs, which would include bat bugs. It's pretty much the same treatment. But the bat bugs, I would be surprised if you had to treat more than once. They are going to die. If you treat where the bat bugs are, they are going to die. The main thing is you have got to get rid of the bats. You have to seal them out of your house and keep them out of your house and keep them away so the bat bugs don't come back. But bat bugs are not immune to pesticides, so you can kill them with one treatment. Are you still accepting calls right now? Yes, I am. Ever use a thermal fogger for roaches? No. I mean, I've used foggers for roaches, but usually they're the fog machines. I've used some. It's been a long time, though. I don't know if it was a thermal fogger, but I have used foggers. Aisha says, Even mice are a breeze compared to bed bugs. Do rodents eat bed bugs? I don't know. Maybe. Jennifer says, for what Crossfire does, I don't think of it as expensive. But that's perspective. Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, if you want to call me Brandon, be welcome to do it. I just kind of switch my screens around and I don't have room. So if I go here and I'm sharing my screen to show you like, oh, look, there's my Amazon and there's my, my course and stuff. And there's my YouTube channel, which by the way, you should hit subscribe and you should like the video. Jennifer's really lagging today. She's supposed to be telling everybody to like my video. She usually says that. And if you're watching on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. But, let's see. Jeffrey says sprayer. Not sure what Jeffrey means by sprayer. Nick says, I know you haven't used Tempered, but it's the only option I have. Do you recommend it? I have used Tempered. I've used Tempered. I haven't used Tempered for bed bugs, but I've used Tempered for other bugs. Tempered is imidacloprid, imidacloprid, I think. Let me make sure I'm right. Pretty sure that's what it is. Let's see, Tempered FX. If that's the one you're talking about. It got all these letters and things on everything. It can't be simple. All right. It is imidacloprid. Yep, that's what it is. It's very effective on lots of bugs. I've used it for ants. I've used it for roaches. I've used it for lots of different bugs. It's a very effective pesticide. It's not a bad chemical. You just have to treat more often. It says right on the label. It says right on the label of Tempered. This is Tempered. Tempered FX. If you go down to where it says bed bugs, let's see. Let's see where it says to treat for bed bugs. Bed bugs. There we go. It tells you the rate to use it. It says Tempered insecticide per gallon of water. It tells you exactly how to mix it. Controls bedbug populations that are resistant to pyrethroid insecticides, much like Crossfire. Efficacy of this product is not affected by heat treatments, so you can use it in an area that you have heat. So applications can be made before heat treatments in integrated bedbug elimination programs. Spray bugs and eggs directly wherever possible, following site directions below. Oh, there we got a call. Hello, this is Jason with Green Akers Pest Control. Can I help you?
Hey, this is Jeff. I was the one that put up sprayer.
Yes, you did. How are you?
I'm doing great. I appreciate your help. I've been listening to you and looking up your videos for a couple of weeks or so here.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a bed bug problem since last year.
Okay.
And wrapped up all of our mattresses in mattress bags, plastic bags.
Right.
And still seeing them. We're still seeing them on our persons if we're like laying down on the couch, and also I think on the floor as well.
Okay.
And so
they're just all over the place.
I ordered Crossfire, so I should be getting it in the next day or so. But you had the applicator spray bottle that we needed to get.
Okay.
And that I wasn't sure.
The one that's on my Amazon page.
Those kind of people. I didn't look for the bottle. I just got the Crossfire. I didn't look for the bottle.
So I have I'll tell you what I did. My wife went and bought 3 sprayers. She bought 3 of the highest rated sprayers on Amazon, like the 5 stars. She bought them at different price ranges. I think she bought like a $25, a $50, and like a $75 sprayer. And I have them in the box. I haven't opened them. I've had them for like 2 months. And I'm going to go over them and I'm going to review them, but I just have not had the time to sit down and tell people. So what I did was I went on Amazon and I looked up different sprayers and I found one and I put it on my page as one that I feel like would be effective for someone to do it themselves. It's a Let me see. It's a 2-gallon sprayer, so you would only have to mix it half full. But I just feel like with the application tools they give you to do the job right, I just feel like it would work better. And so I put it up there on my Amazon page. The link is in the description in fact, it should be on the description of this live video right now. If you go down and just look in the description, there should be a link there to my Amazon page. If not, I can post a link in chat so you can see that. But that's what I would just go there and just take a look and see. And, shop around on it. It's like a $50 tank. You might find a better one somewhere else because, like I said, I haven't had a chance to actually go over these jugs and look at them. I bought a brand new B&G. I was going to, compare the two and show you exactly what you get for your money. And I just have not had the time. It is just, I run a 24-hour pest control business in Central Virginia. It's just me and my son. That's it. And so I was out, last night until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was out today. I left out this morning. I was up at 6 o'clock. Had to get back up at 6 a.m. this morning, drove back out, and I got home late this afternoon. And so I just run all the time this time of year. Usually my videos that require a lot of editing, I do them in the winter when I got time. And so I just haven't had the time to do it.
Okay, well, I'm okay with investing in a fairly good one.
Right.
Not the most expensive, but because I've been, like I said, listening to you, and I'm going to do it over 3 months. So I'm going to do an application, and then within the 27th, 28th day, I'm going to do another application. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it 3 times. I don't ever want to see these things in my house again.
Well, I would like to mention real quick because a message did come up in the chat, and I was going to say it to you too because I don't know if you have children or not, but Crossfire can be used even around babies. It can be used in so you don't spray your baby, but which is obvious, but I have to say that because people will do it. But You can treat baby mattresses, you can treat cribs, you can treat children's beds, you can treat the mattresses themselves. What you have to do is you have to remove all the bedding. So you take the sheets and comforters and all that stuff off. Any mattress covers you have on your bed, just take them off and get rid of them and treat the mattress itself and don't put them back on there because you don't want to cover up the pesticide that you just applied. You want the bed bugs to be able to come out and come into contact with the chemical and die. And if you've covered it up, they won't be able to do that. So you take all the stuff off and just have your bare mattress and your bare box spring, the most comfortable thing to sleep on. And so you don't feel like you're, a toddler you think you're going to wet the bed because you're laying on plastic. But take all that stuff off and just sleep on a normal bed, but you treat it with the Crossfire and do your toddler beds and your crib mattresses and treat all that stuff. Treat the crib and everything, but allow it to dry. I tell people 2 to 3 hours. You may need longer. I just found out the other day. So I treated a couch. I did not know the sofa had a Scotch Guard on it. So, those anti-staining, anti-water. Yep. Right. I sprayed the couch, and the lady called me up, and she said a day later, it was a day, and she said, the couch is still wet. And I'm like, that's a first. That's never happened. Not in like 30 years. That's never happened. And it's because the couch was treated with a Scotch Guard. So you do need to be careful with things like that have been treated with that because the liquid won't dry properly. So, those are things you have to take into account. You treat in between the cracks and stuff. Don't do a total treatment all over the whole thing if you've got a Scotch Guard on the couches and stuff.
Okay, with the couch, what if it's a sleeper sofa?
Open it up and treat the mattress. And actually, if you can, I know it's really difficult to do this with a sleeper sofa, but if you can, turn it over and treat underneath it too.
Oh no, definitely! I saw that on your video. We're flipping it over.
Yeah, it's hard because those bars. So the way that I turn over a sleeper couch, because I've actually never done this on video. I ought to do one when next time I see one. I'll film it and show how to do it. But If the customer lets me. The thing is, I have to have somebody that lets me do this. I don't just go in somebody's house and film if I haven't been, told I can. But the couch, so the way I do it is I unfold it the first time, and then I kind of flip it up and let somebody else hold it while it's being kind of teetered, and then I treat underneath it, and then I sit it back down. That way I don't risk breaking the couch, because those things, when they come tumbling out of there, those metal bars will bend and everything. So you have to be real careful treating the sleeper sofas.
Okay. And then the other thing was, an extra thing. We have chickens and my wife for a while has been having a pest control company come out and spray around the outside, but that was for cockroaches.
Right.
And so we haven't really seen them in the house, unless they got in one or straggler and they're just looking for water, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
But mostly it's out. I see them around the chicken coops and stuff like that. What do you recommend for that?
Oh, just to try to keep the bugs and stuff out of the house? Just like general pest control?
Well, around the chicken coop, though. The cockroaches outside around the chicken coop.
I usually stay away from birds. I typically stay away from birds because birds are a funny type of an animal because they're foul. And if you ever read the safety data sheet of a pesticide, they never ever include birds in the safety data sheet. Unless it's specifically for to use around chicken coops. So they make, it's a type of permethrin that they make that is formulated to be used around chickens, that's safe to use around chickens. It's actually safe to use on chickens for their mites and stuff that you can use like a vet can use.
Right.
But that's something that is out of my range that I don't really mess with because I don't want to kill somebody's birds. And if the SDS, so you've got the two things a pesticide comes with. You have a label, which tells you how to use the product, and then you've got the SDS that tells you how the product was tested and what animals it was tested on. And very rarely are chickens, ducks, guinea hens, or anything like that actually mentioned on the label. So I just don't treat around chickens at all. I just avoid them because I don't want to risk killing somebody's fowl. And if the label doesn't mention that it was tested on birds, I don't want to use it around birds because I don't want to be the one doing the testing.
Gotcha.
But there are different permethrin. There is a form of permethrin, though, that you can use around birds for the mites and stuff that get on them that is labeled for them. But typically the place that you'd want to go for that kind of information would be like a farm and feed store, and they can tell you exactly what to get.
Okay, because the person that's been doing around our house has had no problem because we have chickens, two chicken pens, but then we have certain chickens that we let run the yard. Right.
And if you're treating around a house, you typically, I've treated houses before that have free-range chickens, and that's not a problem because the places you're going to treat. So when I do that, you can usually tell where the chickens have been kind of hanging out. And so I just treat the soffits in those areas and I stay away from the ground because chickens eat off the ground. And so you don't necessarily want to treat on the ground level where the bugs crawl across the earth. You'd want to treat more around windows and doors and soffit areas where the bugs would crawl in, maybe around those areas. It's not as effective pest control method, but like I said, you don't want to kill somebody's birds. You don't want to hurt somebody's pet.
Yeah.
And it's maybe 1 out of 100 people have free-range chickens that actually come up around the house. It doesn't happen very often, but it does, and it has. And I've got a customer I service today, actually this morning, that has free-range chickens, and I just kind of avoid areas that the chickens hang out in.
Gotcha.
And you do not need to use a respirator when using Crossfire. Somebody did ask that too, and I figured since you've got it, I can tell you don't have to use a face mask or a respirator. Just don't breathe it in.
Oh, good to know. But I just appreciate it. It's just I got to get rid of these things because
they
haven't really affected me, but my wife's leg, my children. I don't know why they like them more than me, but they just, it's terrible.
You'll get rid of them. I have people that tell me all the time. I had a lady that called me from, I can't remember where it was, a couple years ago, crying on the phone because she had them for 3 years and she finally got rid of them on her own with Crossfire. So you can get rid of them.
I appreciate it.
Good luck. You have a good night.
Thank you, and
all
keep
right.
up the program.
No
we
problem.
Appreciate it out here.
Hey, anytime. All right, bye.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to go over real quick. I always go live on Thursday nights, typically after 9 o'clock. Someone had actually asked me on my TikTok. They asked when I go live next, and I wanted to just cover that real quick. It's been a while. Let's see, how long has it been? Oh wow, it's been almost 2 hours that I've been on here. See, time gets away from me when you guys ask so many questions. I'm going to try to get through speed answer real quick for the questions that have been asked. I am not going to take any more calls right now because I want to make sure that I can answer the questions that are asked before. Let me see, let's quit Skype so I don't get any calls come through. But I wanted to go over right now just some quick answers to these questions because I've got to get to bed. I do need to work tomorrow. Thoughts on Onslaught Fast Cap for spider control? I've never used it. I've thought about it, but I haven't tried it yet. So if you've tried it, let me know how it works. Can I use Teco with Alpine WSG? I'm not sure. I don't use it. Ben Boss said, what's best for fleas? Alpine WSG works really good for fleas with Nygaard. Nygaard and Alpine work the best. Just read your labels and mix it to label. I have a 2-month-old. We just discovered bed bugs in one of the rooms. Oh, yes, I just answered your question. So John says the couch was still wet after 2 days. Did you spray heavy? No, I didn't spray heavy. I sprayed light. I never spray heavy on the furniture. But because the couch was Scotch guarded, that the chemical just beads up and sits on the surface, and it didn't dry. And I don't know why it didn't dry. It's the first time that's ever happened, ever. I mean, ever. In over 30 years, I've never had that happen before. But it did. It did happen. And she ended up just going through with paper towels and drying it herself and throwing them away. But that's what she ended up having to do. And then it did dry eventually, but that was crazy. Jennifer says, thank you for your time tonight. You're welcome. I love that you guys come and hang out with me and we can talk about bugs. I love my job. My job, if I can share my experiences in pest control with you and you want to watch and you want to learn, then by all means, I'm here to do it. If I want to do a day in the life video, maybe when I get 20,000 subs, I'm at 6. I think I got 16 now. Let me see. I was like 8 away. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's see. What are we at? Oh, 15.9. Still at 15.9. If I can get like 4 or 5 more subs on YouTube, I'll have 16,000. But maybe when we get to 20, I can do a day in the life of me and show you what I do every day and share it with you. But you guys have a really great night. I really appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. I want to thank, too, Moppin for the $5. I really appreciate you. You know, you didn't have to donate tonight. No one ever has to donate to me. I do this for fun. This is my life. This is my work. This is what I love to do, and I enjoy it. It's what makes life fun is pest control. So you guys have a really great night. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, Tuesdays I do my videos if I can think of one. If you guys have questions and you want a video done, leave it in the comment section below. Send me a message on TikTok. You can DM me on TikTok. Send me some funny videos. I like to look at funny videos. I waste hours on TikTok just doing this all day long. So, and then I waste time making TikToks too. So, y'all have a great night. I really appreciate it. I'll see y'all later. Thanks.